E.N.D here, day 8 and last day for the spoilers of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. It was quite a long journey navigating through all these spoilers. Proud to be one of the few YouTubers that still is covering the full spoiler season of a particular set. Even though it's the last day, we still have some new spicy spoiled cards. Let's start. And I want to start with Cathartic Pyre. For 1 and 1 red, it's an instant. You choose one, deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Fading Hope for 1 blue, it's an instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value was 3 or less, scry 1. Unnatural Moonrise for 1 red and 1 green, it's a sorcery, it becomes night. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+0, gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Flashback for 2, 1 red and 1 green. Sunrise Cavalier for 1 red and 1 white, it's a 3/3, trample and haste. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Rite of Oblivion for 1 white and 1 black, it's a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent, exile target non-land permanent. Flashback for 2, 1 white and 1 black. Morbid Opportunist for 2 and 1 black, it's a 1/3 human rogue. Whenever one or more other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Firmament Sage for 3 and 1 blue, it's a 2/3 human wizard. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, draw a card. Hound Tamer for 2 and 1 green, it's a 3/3 human werewolf. It has trample. 3 and 1 green, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It has Daybound, which means that when it's day, it's Hound Tamer, when it's night, it's Untamed Pup. It's a 4/4 werewolf with trample. Other werewolves and wolves you control have trample. 3 and 1 green, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Bereaved Survivor for 2 and 1 white, it's a 2/1 human peasant. When another creature you control dies, transform it. And transform into Dauntless Avenger. It's a 3/2. Whenever it attacks, return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. That bonus Sprout for 1 green, it's a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, transform it, and transforms into Dead Bonnet Hulk. It's a 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Vengeful Strangler for 1 and 1 black, it's a 2/1. It can't block. When it dies, return it to the battlefield, transform under your control, attach it to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and transform into Strangling Grasp. It's an enchantment aura, enchant creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchanted permanent's controller sacrifices a non-land permanent and loses 1 life. So those were the uncommon cards. Now is the turn of the rare cards, and let's start with Reckless Stormseeker. It's a 2 and 1 red, it's a 2/3 human werewolf. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature control gets +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn, and has Daybound, which means that when it's day, it's Reckless Stormseeker, when it's night, it's Storm Charge Slasher. It's a 3/4 werewolf. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature control gets +2/+0 and gains haste and trample until end of turn. Bloodline Eradication for 1 and 2 black, it's an instant. Choose one, target creature get -5/-5 until end of turn. Creatures token get -2/-2 until end of turn. Memory Deluge for 2 and 2 blue, it's an instant. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast the spell. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Flashback for 5 and 2 blue. Therefore, if you cast it for 2 and 2 blue, we'll look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you cast it for the flashback, which is 5 and 2 blue, you will look at the top 7 cards of your library. Remember that if you have spells that reduce the casting cost of other spells, X will be less. Florian Voldaren Sion for 1 black and 1 red, it's a 3/3. First strike. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponent lost this turn. Exile one of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of any library. You may play the exile card this turn. Burn Down the House for 3 and 2 red, it's a sorcery. Choose one. It deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Create 3 1/1 red devil creature token with. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste until end of turn. Sneak into the Festival for 3 and 3 green, it's a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put up to 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of your library. Flashback for 7 and 3 green. Slaughter Specialist for 1 and 1 black, it's a 3/3. Enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature opponent control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Angel Fire Ignition for 1 red and 1 white, it's a sorcery. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. Flashback for 2 1 red and 1 white. Denic Purse Apparition for 1 white and 1 blue, it's a 2/3. With Lifelink, cards in graveyard can be the target of spells or abilities. Disturb for 2 1 white and 1 blue, which means that if this card is in your graveyard, you can disturb it and becomes Danic Pious Apparition for 3/2 flying. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into the graveyard from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. If it puts in the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Smoldering Egg for 1 and 1 red, it's a 0/4 Dragon Egg, it has Defender. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a number of Ember counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast the spell. If there are 7 or more Ember counters, remove them and transform it. And then transform into a Small Dragon, it's a 4/4 flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 2 damage to any target. Hollowed Respite for 1 white and 1 blue, it's a sorcery. Exile target non-legendary creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it enters under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, otherwise tap it. Flashback for 1 white and 1 blue. The last 2 mythics in this particular set, Sunstreak Phoenix for 2 and 2 red, it's a 4/2 flying. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you may pay 1 and 1 red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Let's stop for a second here and discuss this card. Sunstreak Phoenix resembles a lot Recalling Phoenix. If it's in your graveyard and day and night changes, you may pay 1 and 1 red and you can return it to the battlefield tapped. Quite a very useful card, a very good card. The last mythic card, the Meathook Massacre, X and 2 black, legendary enchantment. Enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. This card is insane. You can cast the Meathook Massacre for only 2 black, as X can be 0, but you can also use it as a board wipe. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent will lose 1 life, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you will gain 1 life. Quite insane card. So that was the last card in this last day of the spoilers of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.